Hey, it's Des.
Hey, it's MJ,
And
and
we're
we
your
are
North
North
Carolina
Carolina
Realtors.
Realtors. We want to share with you 5 inexpensive DIY projects you can do to get your house ready to put on the market for sale. These things are fairly inexpensive and should just take you a weekend to get them done. And you're definitely going to maximize your dollar when you put your house on the market. You're going to get more.
So grab a partner, grab your spouse, grab a friend, become a weekend warrior. We've all seen HGTV. Get in there and do it. And if you can't, hiring this out, some of them are so simple, it should be pretty inexpensive.
All right, the first DIY project you can do yourself over the weekend.
It's curb appeal.
Yeah, curb appeal is huge. That is the first thing
Yes.
people see when they pull up to your house when it's for sale.
Yeah, you have the bushes outside, you have your mailbox. You'd be surprised how much people look at that kind of thing. If your mailbox is in disrepair and is hanging, out into the road, might be a bad sign for the rest of the house.
Yeah, for sure. So, number one, pressure wash your house.
Yeah.
Get rid of those cobwebs, those dried leaves in the corners, any grime. If you are not doing that to your house and your patio and your driveway, you're missing out because people look at that and it's going to make a huge first impression.
Yeah. And don't be surprised if you are, you may be thinking, like, I have a brick home. I don't need to do that. My house is not vinyl siding. It's not looking mildew. You would be surprised how much a pressure wash will even go or make a big difference on a brick home. It's huge. It really freshens it up and makes it look like brand new.
Absolutely. Cost wise, you can go rent or purchase a pressure washer and do it yourself for, I don't know, probably about $100, or you probably have a friend that has one that you can borrow. If you don't want to go that route, I would say on average to hire that out for an average size home, you're probably looking at $500 to $1,000, depending on the size of the home and the driveway.
Yeah. And the driveway is important too. You'd be surprised how much that concrete freshens up when you actually take that to it. And if you're doing it, it's very satisfying.
It is.
It's kind of fun actually.
Yeah.
So
Wear
your
flip
back
flops.
your
It's
back may
messy.
hurt the next day because it's a lot. I mean, it's tedious, but it makes a huge difference. And again, when someone walks up on your porch and they don't see spiders crawling around and like mildewy crap all over the porch, I think it makes a big difference.
It
So
does.
curb appeal, number one.
Yeah. So the next thing is mulch. Put out some fresh mulch and some pine needles in those flower beds, especially in the front yard.
Yeah, depending on what area you live in, pine needles are big in some parts of the country. Mulch is big in other parts of the country, but it is huge. It really like makes your yard look brand new and fresh. And even if you don't have the prettiest grass, putting some mulch down in the natural areas can really up your game when people walk up.
Absolutely. And paint your front door. When's the last time you painted your front door?
Yeah, it gets a lot of direct sunlight in most people's houses, and it just sits there and bakes, and it starts to peel, and it starts to look,
Crack and
yeah, it starts to look bad. And so again, when someone's walking up on the porch, when the realtor's fumbling with the key and trying to get in, they're doing this. They're looking all around, and they're trying to see, like, what do I think of this house? You
yeah.
want them to be like, I love this front porch. I love this door color. It makes a big deal.
It does. And try to make it a somewhat neutral color. Obviously a little pop is not a bad thing, but we showed a house yesterday that had a purple front door. So
Yeah, may not be what you
might
want.
not be for everybody, but
Right.
a super easy fix to transition that over to black or white or red, depending on the color of your siding.
Yeah. So curb appeal is a huge deal, and that's a very easy, doable weekend project.
All right, moving on to the inside of the house.
Option number two for a weekend warrior project is to paint your walls and trim and anything else that needs a fresh touch.
Yeah, those really take a beating, especially if you've been in the house 5+ years. So break out the paintbrush and get to work.
Yeah, it's really, really not a hard job. Again, another very satisfying job. You'd be surprised when you've lived somewhere a long time how much, how scuffed up your walls are, even corners. If you go around a certain corner all the time, that area, again, it just gets worn off over time. And I think that the maintenance aspect of that people are looking at, and when it feels fresh and clean, it makes them not question other things that may or not be being handled in the house.
Yeah, it definitely gives it that clean, fresh, modern look.
Yeah.
Not that expensive. You can do it yourself. You can buy a couple cans of paint for a couple $100. Or again, you can hire it out for an average of probably $2 to $3 a square foot, depending on your area.
Yeah. So obviously we suggest picking a neutral color. If your home is painted some, wild colors now because that's your taste and that's what you like, I'm telling you, people are going to want a paint allowance when they start looking at it because it's probably not their taste.
Right.
So if you're going to spend the weekend time to do it, pick a neutral color. Even if you think I would die if I had to live in this gray house, or I would die if I had to live with these sterile white walls, it gives it a fresh, clean look, and it lets people do what they want to in there, move in and make it their own later.
Yes, and definitely do some research on the neutral paint color that you choose. Gray is out.
It is out.
You know, things change monthly and annually. So reach out to us or reach out to your local realtor and find out, what the most neutral color is right now that's on trend.
All right, number 3 is going to be updating your kitchen hardware. Those knobs that you've had on there for 20 plus years, they're probably not the most modern thing out there, and it is such an easy fix. I feel like Hobby Lobby, actually, if you have one of those close to you, every other week their knobs and pulls go on sale 50% off.
Yeah, great deal. And a lot of times you can find like the bulk sets at Home Goods.
Yep.
Again, you want to go clean, neutral, nothing too crazy.
Yes.
We looked at a house the other day that had turtles as knobs.
Yeah.
Probably not everybody's taste.
It was really fun, but it's not going to be everybody's taste. So,
Yeah.
but you can even order sets on Amazon. They'll come the next day. This is literally just screwing off the old and screwing on the new.
Yeah,
So
you could probably do it all in an hour.
Yeah, you do
Really
need to make
easy.
sure that your holes line up. So obviously, if you have a one that's like this, you don't want to get a single knob.
Right.
That's not going to work.
No.
So pay attention to your holes and the width of them, or the dimensions. But it's a very easy thing, and it can do wonders in a kitchen, I feel like.
I can. And while you're at it, take the time to really wipe down and scrub your cabinets, get in those cracks and crevices, get off those old spaghetti sauce stains that are on there. Just make them look clean.
Yeah. So you can have really old cabinets, but you can update them and give them a little bit of a modern twist without having to redo the whole kitchen.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is your faucets in the kitchen. Again, that may be a little bit past your skill level, but that's an easy job to hire out. I think there's plenty of YouTubes on it. So obviously you can flip over to a different channel from ours and find out how to install a new kitchen faucet, but that goes a long way.
It does. I actually just bought a brand new one for my kitchen at Costco. It was like $150 and it's really nice. So.
Yeah. Easy fix.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to the next thing, update those light fixtures. If you haven't updated those since you moved into the home, light fixtures have gotten pretty inexpensive.
They really have. Yeah.
Again, not for everybody as far as DIY, but you could probably look it up and do it pretty easily or find a handyman that could do it for you pretty cheap.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of houses that we go into, you can tell the globes are literally like, I hate to say it, but a grandma special.
Yeah.
They've been around for a long time, and some people just don't really think about that being a big deal because it's like it's just a light, but it really makes a house feel more updated and modern when you bring it into this era. So Lowe's, Home Depot, I mean, they actually have amazing deals on lights. Obviously, you always have Amazon, Wayfair. I think there's like probably 10,000 choices on Wayfair, so you could go shopping for days trying to.
Just don't go too crazy. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. That's right. But pendant lights, your overhead lights, ceiling fans are another big thing. Obviously the super brassy ones were really, really in the 80s. Not so much anymore. So you want to go more neutral, and just keep it clean and not have anything too glaring. But I feel like that's a simple fix.
It is. If your light fixtures don't need to be replaced right now, good for you. That's great.
Yep.
But one thing we would recommend is go through and change your light bulbs.
Yeah.
If you've got burnt out bulbs, if you've got bulbs that have dimmed out, or, if you have a fixture that has 3 bulbs and only 2 are working, get those swapped out. The lighter and brighter your house is, the better.
The better it's going to sell. And I feel like people also look at that. If you take the time to do that, or if you don't take the time to do that, what else are you not taking the time to do?
Right.
If your lights are not lit up and the bulbs are burnt out, well, that kind of indicates that maybe you don't keep up on the maintenance on your house. And then they're going to start looking around at other potential problems. So make it light and bright. Do suggest the warm bulbs instead of the super bright white. They can kind of make houses feel sterile. So hospital vibes. Yeah, that's not what we're going for here. Right. So I would say stick with the warm white bulbs.
Yeah. All right. Last up is refresh those bathrooms. Swap out those old towel bars and toilet paper holders.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like that the finishes now, people are really, really loving the kind of matte gold that just looks super trendy and kind of classy. And then you have the matte black still that's
Mhm.
very popular. Again, if you're still rocking the brass, it's probably going to scream 80s and maybe not what everybody's looking for. So that's a very simple screwdriver situation with some towel bars and the toilet paper holder. If your mirror is super outdated, again, that's another place that you can swap
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, there's definitely inexpensive mirror options. What's really gotten popular is the kind with like the picture frame
Mhm.
around it. Those look really nice. But, as far as the towel bars go, you can get these huge bulk sets on Amazon for
Yeah.
really cheap. So
Yeah.
just a super inexpensive upgrade to the bathroom.
Yeah. And the mirrors actually places like Kirkland's Home Store. I mean, you
Hmm.
can get a mirror sometimes for $30, $40
Yeah.
and you're literally just hanging on the wall like a picture. So it's a very simple fix. Obviously measure first.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what size you need. You don't want this little bitty mirror with a huge, vanity or vice versa, this massive mirror with a little bit. So obviously knowing your size is important, but I think it's a great way to update, your bathroom.
Yeah. And get rid of that old nasty caulk. We all have that caulk in our showers that just won't come clean.
Yeah.
Get it out. Again, look up YouTube videos. It's pretty easy to do yourself, but you can scrape it out and recalk, and it just gives it that clean, fresh, taken care of kind of
Yes.
feeling.
Feels maintained, and that's all we're going for here. So these
Yeah.
are 5 very easy things that you can do. Weekend warrior projects. These are things you can take on a little bit at a time, especially if you know you're going to be selling your house in the next 6 months to a year. Start now
Yeah.
because
It's going to help you get more money, and it's going to help the house sell faster.
exactly.
Yeah.
So these are our 5 tips. If you have any comments, please leave them below, and we would love for you to like and subscribe to our channel.